Well, I was a couple things.
Hit me.
I was a little bit sad that we didn't get to do our podcast last week for two reasons. Number one, I really wanted to talk to you.
So did I.
Because we don't hang out outside of here like, best friends.
We do, just not
like
a lot.
Yeah. I see you every Sunday, which I want to start off with that.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I was so
first.
happy to see you this past Sunday.
I was really excited about last Monday that we didn't record too, because I had a day.
Yeah.
And I called you. I think I texted you, and I was like, "Man, I really need this. It's like therapy."
Yeah.
And it's okay. It didn't
But
work
we got
out.
together and we had our therapy.
Oh, but
which was
we
an amazing
still hung
night.
out, didn't we?
Had a great
Boom.
dinner, great time. But I texted you. You texted me like 2 Sundays ago, and you're like, "I'm not going to make it. I got work stuff." And I thought, "Damn, I'm not gonna like give him shit or anything because that would just annoy you, and I wouldn't want to hear it either." But I thought, you know what? Next time I see him, I want to say that I really missed you on that Sunday, and I didn't like that you skipped. And I thought, I hope he gets in my ass if I ever start skipping because we start to
absolutely
slip.
do that.
And I'm not getting in your ass, by the way.
I'm not about
you had work stuff.
slipping on it. I was literally, it's on my TV, on live
Oh, you
feed.
watch it at home?
I watched it at home.
It ain't the same, though, is
At
it?
the same time. No, it's nowhere near the same.
Yeah.
Does not hit the same. The music doesn't hit the same.
Yeah.
The experience.
Okay. So you didn't
And then I
completely
was
skip.
on a Teams call on mute.
So you actually were working
Yeah.
during that
I
time?
wasn't just making that up.
No, I believed you was working. Oh, I believed you were working. I thought you was like, life is stressful. I don't want to. I need to get this done, and it was more important than going to church.
No, if I could have put it off to Monday, it would have gone Monday. This had to happen Sunday.
I saved it for tonight.
Yeah.
You bring it up.
Yeah. Thanks, pal.
That's the kind of friend I
Yeah.
am.
Appreciate you. Got this little in my back pocket.
And I thought, I hope he calls me out because I'm going to start slipping too. It's hard.
I call my nephew out. Right, Luisito? No R's. Don't do it.
I've been practicing.
Luisito. There's no R's in it. There's 0 R's
Look
in it.
how red my face is.
But
Holy
I
shit.
did it, and my nephew took it to heart. He was convicted by it, and then he was like, "Yeah, you're right." And he spoke to his wife, and he was like, "If we go out and make this decision to stay up late, then we're gonna deal with it in the morning. But we're getting up and we're going." And I was like, "I mean, I didn't mean to hit you that hard, but if you got convicted and it took over, well, don't shoot the messenger."
We just got to remind each other. It's a battle. It's
easy for life to get in the way.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we're just gonna jump right into it. Like, there was a couple topics that I had that I wanted to talk about. I don't really have it figured out yet, obviously.
Random thoughts is very real.
Yeah, but I'm always thinking something.
Right, but we end up in Albuquerque.
Yeah, there was. Okay, how do I jump into it? Oh, by the way, I was thinking about bringing Lucy onto the show tonight. It might be a little bit weird. Hey, Lucy, are you still listening?
Lucy is our Jarvis.
Yeah.
And this man right here is Iron Man. Get ready, folks.
It's going to be a bit complicated to bring her in. It's going to be a little bit complicated to bring her to life. But, Lucy, earlier we were talking about some of the topics tonight, and could you remind me of what we were thinking?
Absolutely. Earlier we talked about a few topics for tonight's conversation. One big theme was the current dating culture and what that experience...
He wanted me to stay away from that. Hey, listen, let's just get into that real quick. It's the one you wanted to avoid. But this is what I realized.
Hit it.
I was thinking cable TV was the beginning of the end. It's like when we grew up, we had 3 channels. There was a 4th when you were really desperate. But you turn your television on, 2, 4, and 5.
Yep.
That was the 3 choices. And then when you were really desperate or young, maybe you watched PBS on Channel 8.
I watch PBS. Mr. Rogers, man.
Yeah. And then they came out with cable TV, and they gave us options. And then we got to where it was fun. We loved it because it was still like 30 options. It wasn't 300 options. And I was thinking about that and just life in general.
And the
So
endless
many options. The endless options of abundance. And I thought, no wonder dating is so crazy right now. At least, I think it's crazy for the people that were born into it. Those of us that came from 3 options, 2, 4, and 5, and you not only that, you had to start wherever it was. Like you just turned it on, or you got your little TV guide. Do you know how exciting that was? When you got a TV guide, do you remember, 7 o'clock, this show comes on, and the whole world is watching it at the same time?
My father used to collect them, and my mother used to beat me with them.
Really? TV guides?
You don't want, if it wasn't a chancleta, her slipper,
Yeah.
she could make a TV guide stop and make a 45-degree turn around a corner. Whack! get me right in the back of the head. So I have some trauma you just triggered with TV Guide.
That's another thing we're going to get into as well. That trauma. Don't let me forget that because that's something I definitely want to unpack.
And I'm making fun of that. I don't have TV Guide trauma.
Yeah. Oh, obviously. I used to get beaten with phone books. It was worse. Joking.
Sadly, it didn't take.
I'm joking. I don't think I've ever been hit with a phone book. A switch, definitely, and belts, definitely. But I don't know how to get to it, but I was thinking about how wonderful life was when there was only 3 options, or my dad came home with a VHS tape where he went to Blockbuster or whatever. Actually, it wasn't even Blockbuster. It was like your local gas station, like had a selection. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Honestly, it was my parents that had the gas station. But they had a movie store as well. And we would rent our own movies. We'd rent to the community. It was a small town. And but other gas stations did it as well. Like, there was not uncommon for a small local store to have 100 movies that you can go and choose from.
First time I've ever heard of
Really?
that. Like,
Well, I'm from
Blockbuster was a night out for us. you
Yeah,
know?
well, it was too. When we to go to Blockbuster, that was
a
like
big deal.
10 miles away. And it was a big deal to go 10 miles.
Hard to get there in a tractor.
Get your shoes, we're going to town. Are you kidding? I remember coming into Manchester, and the interstate lights for the ramps would mesmerize me. It was like magic to me. Swear to you.
That's so crazy.
Oh, God. The feeling I would get going to Jiffy Burger to get a milkshake and to like a Blockbuster or whatever the local video store was.
Okay.
It was incredible.
Jiffy Burger.
Jiffy Burger, famous, Manchester, Tennessee. You gotta
Have
go
a
check it out.
burger, get your oil changed at the same time.
It was like the original drive-in. Like skaters would come out.
Get out.
Yeah, and they'd hang
See,
it on
that's
your
cool.
window.
That's cool.
That's why Dazed and Confused is still my favorite movie, just because it reminds me of my childhood, even though it was a couple decades before me, but we hadn't changed much until the 2000s.
All right.
Yeah. But, God, life was so much better when we had limited options.
Options aren't necessarily a good thing.
They're not good at
Then
all.
it's just really easy to move on to the next thing.
I don't know how we go from PBS and NBC to, but there's a connection there.
Absolutely. Our attention spans are shrinking, and our willingness to work through things and get to know people, just the way we have 1,000 channels now.
Yeah.
How many people do you know just sit there and don't watch anything? They're just clicking through shows mindlessly.
Yeah.
And they'll watch a couple seconds of this, a minute of that.
I bet I have countless. My audiobooks, 12 going at once. I jump from one audiobook to the next, and when I realize I'm getting diminishing returns, my attention span is like, my brain is broken. My sponge is full, and I'm a goldfish now when it comes to my attention. I'm just like everyone else.
We all are.
Yeah, we are not designed for this.
No, we have too much access to information.
In abundance.
And it's making us lazy.
Yeah.
And not willing to work for anything or wait for anything. Instant gratification, right?
Yeah.
That comes right along with people.
Yeah. So our relationships are very similar.
Yeah. Oh, I met this person. What a great friend. We have so many things in common. You do one thing they don't like, it's okay. I can make 800 other friends.
Yeah.
Goes right into dating, goes right into everything else.
Yeah, we're not forced to get uncomfortable anymore. Although I think I'm still, okay, sometimes I think I'm not made for this world. Even though there's parts of it that I'm forced to behave in, like I'm forced.
Okay.
I have a Facebook, I have an Instagram, that's about it. I don't spend a lot of time on it, but I noticed my attention span is screwed. Like, I really am struggling right now. And I think it's because, like I said, my sponge is full, and I think I need to head out west and just get away from it all and kind of reset. Yeah, we were talking about it the other day. You mentioned something about a detox.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Social media detox?
Or a fast.
A
social
fast.
media fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've taken a relationship fast. This is where I wanted to go. Okay, so I don't believe, and I don't expect you to chime in if you don't want to, but the dating sites, I won't do them. Like, I don't even believe in Facebook, much less a dating site. Now, I will admit, I have gone on dates from a dating site, and I met like 3 or 4 really wonderful girls. But you instantly know within the first date that it's not for me, for one way or another, or maybe I wasn't for them. Because it's all bullshit. There's no pheromones. Like, You choose people based on the way they look. That's really it. And they never look like the way they portray themselves.
It has made
Nobody does.
no. Everyone's a catfish.
Yeah, on both sides.
And then like everyone's using filters.
Yeah.
People stop using filters to the degree that you're using filters, because there are people that use high, crazy, like 8 layers of filters.
I don't know how to use a filter,
And I'm
so I don't
like-
know what that is.
I see you at the gym. I know what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not this. I can't hide much. Bald, shiny. I can filter a little shine off.
Well,
that's about it.
What are
But,
people hoping
ugh,
for? What are they hoping for?
They want to feel better. They want likes. They want people to give them attention.
likes.
And then what happens
validation.
is you get 2 different things. You become incredibly disappointed when you meet that person because you had this insanely beautiful perfection. I made you in a computer type, because you did, thing in your head. And then you meet them in life and realize they're a human. They might have a few blemishes and some pimples or something. You're like, whoa, you're not the person I saw.
Well, that's why I think so. We were forced to meet in public, and your first impression was always different.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get the best
people
of them.
also lied before filters. Like, you'd have the people that sent you their best photos from 5 years ago.
I don't even know about that, but I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I've seen that.
You're still talking about an online thing. Why would they have sent you? Like, we're talking about
because
mail.
this is before you could. Pen pals was a thing. If dudes in jail can get married,
Well, I'm just saying, at a bar. I miss a bar. I still go to bars because in my mind that's the still. But this is what I've realized:
But that's
if a
not
girl's in a
exactly-
bar, it's because she's bored with the current relationship. And if 9 times out of 10, boy, that's going to hurt if I say that out loud. But I'm just going to tell you, everyone I meet,
uh-huh.
it's a culture of it's a rebound culture. I am a rebound. I just to go ahead and assume every person I meet, I'm just a rebound. Literally, maybe hours old, maybe a week old, but nobody has been alone for any length of time because they don't have to be. I don't like the way I feel. I can go on an app you know what I mean?
Okay, so let's touch on that. Everybody feels alone, right?
Yeah.
So I'm lonely, and obviously don't have someone to spend my time with. So I'm going to go to a bar with other lonely people looking for the same thing. And then you wonder why it doesn't work out. You're 2 people in the exact same position. It's most of that, I'm sure, listen, many people have met in bars and had relationships come out of it. That's not exactly where I think is ideal for you to be looking.
That's a pretty good spot.
You are missing out on a lot of people. Why?
I don't know where to meet
Because
people.
the fun juice is flowing and things can happen really fast, hot, and heavy. And then you get to know that person and you realize, like, dude, there's other places. Meet people in a gym, in a library, go hiking. There are people literally everywhere. It does not have to be a bar. And if you meet people in a bar, that's fun, but that ain't relationship fun.
I don't know. The only relationships I've ever been in were from a bar. Everyone.
Yeah.
And I've had some good ones.
Uh-huh. Still happening? Still there?
Well, I mean,
Still in a relationship? Got a ring on your finger? Hey, Scooter.
although, but that's all of us though. I'm like the only single guy I know. Literally, I don't hang out with any single friends. What? I'm not trying to put you in the same pool as me. I don't know what your current situation is.
Listen.
I'm not going to.
Listen.
I don't know where you're at. We don't talk about
You
these
don't
things.
have single friends?
No. I am the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 15th, 21st wheel in everything I do. And I don't mind that because all my friends are in, I almost said wonderful. Most of them are in wonderful. For instance, I was with a big group last night, and then we narrowed down to the 3 of us.
I saw the
a
pictures.
couple.
Yeah.
Not of this one. Anyways, my 2 friends, married for a long time. I love being around them because I get to hear them argue, and it's the sweetest arguments ever. Like we were talking about something where he was worried about his wife for a particular reason. It was just conversation. Yeah, I'm worried about blah blah. And she goes, "Quit being a girl." And he turned to her and said, "Don't ever call me a girl, or don't ever call me feminine or whatever." He goes, "You've never done that. You ain't gonna start now. I am a man." And I thought, yeah, good for you, buddy. But she didn't get butthurt. She was like,
Yeah, because it's both of them just
yeah,
jabbing and
I
poking.
thought,
And
God, y'all are healthy. Like, this is good banter. It wasn't even banter.
And
Like
you
he
can
was
make fun and bust balls and
well,
do all
it
that.
wasn't a joke, but it never turns into a fight.
Right, but like being like even saying like don't be a girl, like it's your loved one. You're sticking it a little bit, but it's still okay. I think that's healthy and fun. It's when you get to levels of disrespect and name calling.
Well, it was disrespectful to him. He was
but
he nipped it in the
but
bud.
he called it.
Yeah, nipped
He
it in the
said
bud
nope.
right then.
He goes, that wasn't too bad. However, that's not for me, and that's healthy too. And she respected it, right?
That was the key. Like she messed up. She made a mistake. And he drove it home like, this is why you messed up. Like he multiple times. And then before it was over with, I thought, golly, they handled this so well. That's pretty rare, honestly, for a couple that's been together this long. And I'm just like, God, what you have is so rare and magical, and you better hold on to it. So this is, I guess, part of this is for me is like for my friends that are in relationships. I'm going to tell you, I've been in a relationship that was lonely. Like I have a playlist called Take the Long Way Home. I've been building for 20 years or however long you've been building playlists because the last thing I wanted to be was home because it was lonelier there than it was being single. And so I know what it feels like to be in a lonely relationship, and I'll never do it again, ever.
Yeah.
But the rest of them that like have a pretty decent relationship, find a way to make it work. You do not want to come out into this world. You do not want to be in this cesspool of monkey branching. And that's what it is. It's monkey branching.
Yeah, but you like the chaos and all that craziness.
I love it.
You look at this, like you look at the white picket fence and those people and you're like, that's so nice. I really like that. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to go to a bar now and see some monkeys swim.
But okay, so Saturday I went to a bar and I didn't feel like drinking and I didn't really want to be around people. I didn't feel like social. I was sad Saturday. And it was bugging the shit out of me like the whole day. I didn't know if I was sad or what. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm never sad. I mean, I have my moments. I just was not in a good mood. And I thought, I want to find the darkest bar I can find and put my headphones in, which I've told you I like to do that. Yeah. And so I did. I found the darkest bar I could find and had dinner by myself, and I really enjoyed myself. But I was just in a somber mood, and I was just racking my brain on what in the hell. So I was so excited about going to church Sunday because I needed something to kind of lift me up. And it helped. And then I felt sad again. But I realized, it's the holidays. And I missed cuffing season. Right, I missed my opportunity, and
we are too old for this. We are too old.
No
for
shit,
this.
but that's what everybody's doing.
But when do we follow everybody?
No, I don't want to. I mean, but all my so
you're lonely. You're a little.
All
lonely.
my distractions are busy.
See the chaos. Stop looking for distractions.
I'm not looking for them. They
just pop up. Yeah, but they're busy and you miss them because you don't have the distraction.
Yeah. You just want to be loved or appreciated.
Everybody does.
Or distracted. You know what I mean?
But now we're going back to validation.
You can't be alone.
Where we get it.
Look, we can't be alone. We're not meant to be alone. I've done it for
100%.
almost 3 years. And when okay, so this is what I've realized. Okay, so I think this is what I've realized because the girls that do text me or the girls I do hang out with, most are just friends, obviously.
No, I know that. We share a few of them, so I know.
Yeah, and
as friends.
Yes, definitely friends. Always been friends. Never crossed that line. It won't be friends ever again. In my opinion, you may argue with me, but the ones that would text me and I would think, I wish she'd quit texting me. Or to some degree, because it's one of those won't shit or get off the pot. I know that I'm a rebound. I know whatever current thing she's in she's not happy with. So she's like, what are you doing? And I let it. I let it. Because it's kind of fun. But when it all goes away, it's like, I kind of miss it.
Yeah, because
I miss the breadcrumbs.
You like the attention. You like the adventure. You like the chase.
Yeah.
If she's
I don't feel shame right
and
now.
if that person is in a current thing.
Yeah.
And they're reaching out for a little bit of attention.
Yeah. That's
not the person you want to be with
No.
either.
Oh, so we're not talking about somebody that's cheating. We're just talking about somebody that's undecided on the fence. And so I kind of want to get
direct. So be direct. Here's the thing.
But I don't know if I have a problem with it.
It is so easy. It is so much easier to be honest, man. It sucks for a moment.
I'm always honest.
But you don't know. I get that. But there's also omission and there's let me see where this goes. if it's do it or get off the pot, right? Then just say it. I would be like, listen,
Well, the reality
I'm not
is,
going to play cat and mouse.
I don't know if I want
Here's
a
blah, blah,
relationship
blah, blah.
either. Right?
But
like,
you
I
just
haven't-
spent 10 minutes telling me that you were lonely and sad.
No. Yeah.
Like
You missed it, though. You missed
shoo,
it.
Shoo, shoo.
No, you missed it, though. Like, what I realized was it's the holidays.
No, I get that.
And
A lot of
everybody
people feel
locked
that.
on to their option. Because that's what everybody is an option.
Yeah, 'cause it's Christmas
They took
parties
their
and this
best
and that,
option
yeah.
or their most reliable option. Yes, there's
Yeah.
parties, there's ugly sweaters
There's
they
all
gotta go
sorts.
to, and
Or
I
you're
don't
the
wanna
one
play,
that gives really good gifts.
well, I don't want to play that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna pretend. It's complicated. It's really, really complicated, and I don't know that I have a problem with it. Like when we say dating, in my mind, when I say dating, it means we're test driving. And I, I might go to 4 or 5 dealerships before I find the right car.
Okay, stop. You need to let that salesman know that you're shopping around.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Until I put you on my Instagram, it's not official.
Here's the thing, though. You have to be on the same page because we might be car shopping.
Yeah.
Right? And she might think that you've signed on those papers already.
No.
And
I think
you're driving it home.
I think somebody at some point has to say, "Well, what are we?" But nobody wants to say that.
Nobody wants to do it.
Nobody
You
wants
got to
do
lay
that.
things
Isn't
out,
that
man.
Funny. Well, listen, you're coming at it like you're an expert, and so I don't know. We haven't had
No
this
expertise.
conversation.
The only thing life's taught me that regardless of how difficult it is much easier to be honest up front.
And I agree. I agree. But being honest is telling the truth when someone asks you. Now, we're talking about transparency at this point.
Okay.
And vulnerability, which is
Yeah.
another version of transparency.
Because you could be shot down too, just as easily with that.
Well, I'm not judging anybody because I suffer from it too. I refused to try someone on temporary. It's so hard to even break down. It's so complicated because it's so complicated. It's because there's too many options, and what everyone is doing is they're trying to figure out how to behave in a way to extend this option until the next best thing comes along. That is the reality of the world we're living in. It's not that's what situationships are. And I'm not saying I've ever been a part of that, but I'm saying that everyone is afraid to let this connection go. We as humans are codependent. We're a codependent species. And we're maintaining as many connections so we don't have to feel alone. I don't know if this is wrong. I don't know if it's right. I'm just saying that we used to have 3 channels. Now we got 3,000, and I don't think it's healthy.
But it boils down to me, validation and attention, because you have a friend, a situationship. We both agree this is a situationship until something changes for the other. And everyone's fine with it until it changes for one of them and not the other. So now, okay, you're dating a girl. You're not dating. I'm sorry. You're in a situationship with a girl.
I'm not.
You.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Hypothetical.
In general. Okay.
You're hanging out. You're doing your thing, and you're agreeing. No matter what happens, we're going to be friends. We're just filling in this lonely gap for each other.
Yeah.
She comes at you and says, "I met someone I'm interested in actually dating.
It hurts.
We're going to go back to being friends." You've got this out on the table. Everything's solid. As a man, pride, jealousy, even though you know you don't want to be in a relationship, even though you know you probably aren't really compatible, you're just really good friends and you're doing whatever adults do, agreed. But now there's another rooster in the hen house, even though it was never your hen house.
Yeah, it goes
and
both
you're
ways.
like,
It goes both ways.
you know,
And I know
the,
that.
the same thing would happen with her more than likely. What she got that I don't, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So
I had a female
Human nature.
I've had a lot of female friends in my life, and I just say, look, let's not cross that line. Let's not cross that line because you don't get to come back. You do not get to come back. And I told one,
some people can,
well,
but it's exceedingly rare.
I don't think it's worth it. I told one time, I said, we could go in that bathroom and both get a nut, and everything's changed. We're going to throw away a friendship that could last for the rest of our lives, something that we really depend on and we both need, for one orgasm, and everything changes. I said you never get to come back from it.
Very few people have the willpower to resist.
I had to. It's pretty easy for me because I just really appreciate my friendships. I would not throw
believe
them
that
away
part.
for. Hey, listen, it's
Yeah.
that I got it
But we
tattooed to my
You got to
arm,
remember that.
and I do.
I
That's
want
where it
you to
came
meet a
from.
nice girl at church.
I do too, but I didn't. So okay, that's a thing. Joy talks about you're going to meet a girl at church,
And I'm not talking about like the
well, I don't wanna
singles
go
groups because I'm not about
No.
that. But
Well, I didn't want to go to church to meet a girl. I thought this doesn't feel right.
well, good. You're going to church for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You're focusing on that. You've enjoyed it. You got baptized. Everything's great. Now, start going to some church events.
Oh, okay.
Not to like a speed dating thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically real life apps. But start meeting people. Start talking to people. You never know.
Yeah. Well, okay. So this is another thing that I think I've screwed up. So I've been on this, and this will lead us into the next topic, I think.
Can't wait.
I've been on a journey, obviously, and it was a self-discovery, self-overcoming. How do I become the best version of myself?
Yeah.
And man, it's been a wonderful ride, and it's been a lot of healing in the process. And almost 3 years single, with one relationship that was on again, off again, which was wonderful. I learned so much from that one, and so I realized what I've done. I went from a very long relationship where you just like, fuck, you know what I mean? You kind of give up, and you want to, and then I go into the next relationship, and boy, I was not easy. Nope, I nipped everything in the bud, and I realized this poor girl never stood a chance. And I wasn't trying to hold her accountable to my standards. I believe I get to hold people accountable to their standards, to the standards they've identified for themselves. And if she deviated at all, I called it out. Not good enough. Not good enough. And I went from one extreme to where I didn't care at all to nipping everything in the bud. And I realized just recently that poor girl never stood a chance.
Yikes.
So, but that's what you do. You know what I mean? I overcorrected. And so now that I've had the two perspectives, maybe I'll land somewhere in the middle on the next one.
go
But
on
I've had like 9 or 10
middle
months.
ground.
Well, I've had 9 or 10 months to think about it.
Okay.
Like little things like being late. And all I'm looking for is consistency. Really. Any inconsistency, any drift, I'm like, that ain't what you agreed to this.
You do realize you're like the biggest roller coaster of a human being I've ever met.
I'm consistent though.
Consistently crazy.
In people's lives. I am consistent when
You're
I say I'm
consistently
going to do
a good
something.
friend, a dependable guy,
Yeah.
a man of your word.
Yep.
I will give you that.
My
I'm busting
commitments-
your chops a little bit.
Now, my
But
commitments, I am on point. Like, I'm obsessive about it. That's why I struggle with commitments, because I refuse to put myself in a position that I can potentially disappoint someone. So I'm showing up.
that.
I'm showing up
I get
all
that.
the time. And any girl, and like this girl, would just left me with a lot of doubt. She was very inconsistent, but she always showed up. Every time she showed up, and that was her excuse. But don't I always show up? I'm like, yeah, but you gave me 3 hours of like, I think this is over. You know what I mean? So it was just chaos, and I'm like, good grief, this is awful.
now, you pointed out all the garbage on her side of the street. Did you sweep yours?
I mean, you don't realize the things you're doing wrong until someone points it out. And, she had a really good habit of saying no, like calling me on my shit, and I loved it. I'm like, okay, good.
So you guys were just in a refereeing match of, I gotcha.
No, I don't think so. I'm just saying when
That's what it
things come up,
sounds
when you're
like.
getting to know somebody, you're getting to know flaws and bad
of course.
habits. And I don't know, man. You called me out, and like I'm always excited about identifying where I can improve. Honestly, even though that's complicated.
What isn't?
But isn't that what getting to know somebody is you accept them for who they are, but then if they don't live up to a standard that they claim to live by, or if they overstep one of your boundaries, and people don't know your boundaries until you let them
That's
know,
true.
hey, listen, that's wrong. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. You know what I mean? Or just show up. Show up. If you agree to this time, let me know an hour ahead. Don't tell me 15 minutes before. You know what I mean? It annoys the shit out of me.
I'm a planner. Like, I'm a calendar guy. You know that. So,
Yeah.
I like spontaneity where it fits.
Okay, so this is what I was trying to say, is I've taken this self-growth so far that I've almost isolated myself to a point that I'm like, shit, have I gone too far with this? Is anybody going to, am I, what the, everybody's more broken now than ever before. So it's all about growth. And then did I grow myself right out of the pool? Like, is there even another option? Have I isolated myself to a point that I am screwed?
Well, everybody's so broken because all they feed is the grass is greener on the other side. They're looking at all this perceived perfection, and then they hate their lives, or they hate their lives so much that they spend all their time living other people's lives, criticizing them, pointing things out, or hating on them, instead of working on themselves and watering the grass where they're at.
Man, that's all I do, and it's still hard. Literally, my whole life is dedicated to that one thing, shining bright. And that's really hard to do because it's about self-discovery, it's about growth, it's about healing your trauma, feeling your feelings. And God, you get to a point that you're like, this is not just hard. Like, okay, this is where we can we segue into the next part?
Please.
Thank you. We'll get out of that. So on this path of self-discovery and personal growth, Joy and I talk about this a lot since we're together so much. Hell, this is all I talk about. She says all the time, Nathan, you always say if you even had parents, you have trauma. And it's true. Like if you're a human being, you have trauma. And then so many times, if you go back, if you use first principle thinking and you say, okay, well, why? Why am I this way? Blah, blah, blah. And you'll generally get to your parents. And I've realized we have a whole society that have come to the conclusion that everything that's wrong with them was the way they were raised. The parent failed here, the parent failed there. Like it's their past that they're blaming. And I always thought, yeah, I mean, I got plenty I could probably blame my parents for, but I got plenty I can be grateful for too. And I remember this moment that I went through this. I processed this thing with my father. I had to really dive deep into it, trying to understand it. And I realized, okay, this is probably one reason I'm messed up. And then I thought, but he was way more messed up than me because, hell, he was an orphan. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying, holy shit, we have the luxury of sitting around thinking about our trauma for the first time in history. It's never been an option because everyone else was busy trying to feed their family. And I thought, holy shit, let's think about World War I and World War II. You're talking about over 500,000 people, men, American men that died. And so look, think about the
You're
amount.
talking about kids.
Think about
that
the
had
orphans.
To grow up
Yeah.
Men.
Yeah. And then they had kids that lived without these fathers. And I thought, holy shit, you got Vietnam. And I just thought, wow, there was a lot of orphans that just had to figure it out. And we have the luxury of having our parents and bitching about the job they did when they didn't have a clue what they were doing.
They didn't have time for self-pity and this victimization mindset. They had to get up and go to work and do stuff. And you know what? On their downtime, they weren't scrolling. They weren't bitching. They weren't crying in a corner. They were so tired from life and surviving and putting food on the table and making something of themselves that they just wanted silence and sleep.
I want to say, though, I don't feel sorry for them. I think they were blessed.
I think
either. They were lucky. I think they were lucky that they did not have a choice because it goes back to what we were talking about, an abundance of choices. Yeah. They had 2, 4, and 5. That was it. Their whole life was channel 2, 4, and 5, and they were so happy.
Yeah.
We got screwed because we invented cable TV and the internet, and we've catered to ourselves to give us so many options that we're having mental breakdowns because of it, because we don't know what to do. And it made me realize, oh, that's why I drive across the country and I use a quarter. And I flip a quarter. Heads is yes, right, north and east. Tells us, I repeat myself a lot. We might get to that. Tells us left, no, west, and south. And I do that because it limits my options. And I live in the moment because of it. Because I don't stress over what town I'm going to. And I sure shit am incapable of stressing over what I want to do when I get there. I just enjoy the moment. Mm-hmm. And that's hard to do in real life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're in a culture that those people that want to do more pay to suffer. You know, I pay for high rocks. I pay for, there's friends that do races and 100-milers, Ironmans, those obstacle course races. We go to gyms and, group settings, CrossFit, Sets hybrid training. Shout out to Battalion. Shout out to Sets. We do all of these crazy things and we pay to do it because we have the luxury of such a comfortable life that I'm like, man, I got to accomplish something hard today. So I start every day with a workout that, I might bitch and moan and don't like it. I am now focusing on burpees for all my people, but I hate burpees. Oh, man, do I hate burpees. So I'm just going to get really good at them and do all of them. But anyway, I pay to do this. I pay to do this and compete with other people because suffering equals accomplishment.
Yeah.
And then I can go about my day and go, no matter what hits me in this very comfortable temperature controlled office with 2 giant screens. And yes, I'm stressed and taking phone calls and setting stuff up and dealing with people and emotions and all that. I still did some hard stuff. I'm not on the front lines of Normandy with a giant iron door coming out in front of me and machine guns blowing me down. Like, holy crap. Perspective.
Well, do you see the common thread here? Like the whole, I'm trying to show grace to the mental health that everyone is suffering. Like, I'm the healthiest person I know, and I'm still suffering because I have too many options. It drives me absolutely crazy. We're so, I see so many people on the internet telling everybody how to get their shit together. But if you knew the truth, they're suffering too. They're going through the same shit. That's why they know these things. But I'm just telling you, we're not made for this life. We're not made for this life.
Even that bothers me because there are so many people that are really good at giving advice that they should be taking for themselves. And why not help yourself? There's a lot of keyboard warriors that'll tell you how you should, what you could have done, what they would have done better. But they're in the worst position of their life. And it's easier to criticize or to give you advice on how you should do things than face their own problems and fix them.
This is what everybody's done. I think what I've tried to understand is that I started writing about suffering over a year ago, and I learned the importance of it and started embracing it. And it's just part of being a human. And it's not avoiding it. There's a saying about if I repeat myself a lot, I'm sorry. You actually brought up at the end of the night. You're like, do you realize you've told me this 3 times? I'm like, no, I can't help it because it's a dynamic way of thinking. I'm connecting dots in real time, and I can't.
Nathan calls it a dynamic way of thinking. I call it sometimers. It's
Sometimes.
fine. I have it all the time.
You know what? You just let me. I've realized the problem. Hey, by the way, I wanted to bring this up. And then I've realized the problem is the dating pool's a bunch of 2s.
How are we going backwards?
Because you just reminded me of it.
How are we going backwards?
Well, I just reminded me of it. Can I tell you what I mean?
Or maybe you go to bars full of 2s.
No, it's not just that. No. They live too far away. They're too old, too young, too big, too small. We have so many options that they're to this or to that. Does that make sense?
It does.
It's fascinating.
We're looking for the Goldilocks
How is anyone
zone.
ever going to get in another relationship? I can't figure it out.
By not thinking about all those options and actually putting in work with somebody worth a damn.
So Joy asked me recently, she goes, how's your relationship life going? I said, none of my business. She was like, what do you mean? I said, it's literally, I'm at the point that it's none of my business. If somebody chooses me and I choose them back, great. But sorry we did go backwards. But is that crazy to think that I quit trying a long time ago. I used to look at every Red Light, every Kroger's. I used to go to the vegetable aisle and that's just that just feels thirsty.
Oh man!
But that's what everybody's doing.
No,
I
can't remember the last time I cruised the vegetable aisle for a hottie.
Which area do you
like? If I were to do that in a supermarket, I'm like, listen, if she's hot and looking at steaks, you're my girl.
Carnivore,
Yeah. But I kind of go to the supermarket.
You go to the
grocery
gym.
shop.
You go to the gym. Is that a not good thing?
I go to the gym, but the gym's full of, for the most part,
like-minded people
that we're working some stuff out, man.
Okay.
But we're literally working some stuff out in the gym. Mm-hmm. It's not just, yes, we're working our bodies.
See, I got a gym membership, but I didn't go to meet people because I just felt like, I know people do. I'm just not that guy.
You know very much who's in the gym for show and who's in the gym having fun, working some stuff out. I mean, I've made great friends in like Murfreesboro run groups.
In fact, their whole pew,
and in
I
the
think,
gyms
came from the gym.
I mean, where we sit at church, every single person there does CrossFit.
Yeah, those people are crazy.
You know, I love those people.
Well, I mean, I don't know them personally.
I'm one of those people, even though I'm a very scaled.
These CrossFit people are nuts. I don't understand. Like I suffer enough already. I know.
Suffering, accomplishment,
that's another sense of
pushing
suffering.
yourself. Plus, there's the self-talk. There's the positivity. Like I did those big box jump overs the other day. I walked into the gym.
You looked graceful doing that. Like very
Thank you.
athletic.
I have no idea how that happened.
I was questioning,
You know.
can I do that?
I didn't think I could do it walking through the door.
Yeah.
And this entire group of people, they all have different ways of doing it. You know, Cody the mustache was just like, stop being a little old man and a baby and just give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? You hurt yourself a little bit? And I was like, well, he's right. And then other people are just really encouraging. They're just pushing you. And they're like, man, give it a try. You can do this. It's just a little bit more. And they believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. We all need that too. That's why I love the fitness community in space. It's encouraging. And yes, it's competitive, but it's like a really healthy, I want to do that. And everyone's clapping for you when you achieve it, man. Like, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, I wish more people would get into it.
I think my problem is I struggle with groups. I'm just always doing my own thing. I struggle with being a part of a group. It's really hard for me. And I don't know why. I've got a problem with
I think
that.
you got to find the right group.
No, I mean, I've been like that my whole life.
You can be in a group and not be a follower. Like, I love my gym group. And yes,
anxiety.
we go out, we're friends, we're this and that, but like that dynamic is 45 minutes long. Like, you can deal with something like that. Lock in on the mission that you're in and put everything else out. When I'm in the gym, I'm not thinking about work or bills or this or that. We're trying to get to what we're goofing and we're doing this, but we're pushing weight. We're trying to grow in different ways. And those people are encouraging you to do so. When I leave there, I promise you I'm not being encouraged or having all these positive things throughout my day. I'm fixing dumpster fires and dealing with people on all levels of frustration and emotions. And you don't know what you're going to get that day, but at least I went to the gym and accomplished something with solid people to start my day.
Well, I think it's the introvert in me. And I struggle with I went to church for a year and sat by myself for a year. Never sat with one person I knew.
And now you're
I didn't know
with
anybody.
10.
Well, yeah, because you invited
Yeah.
me, but I only talked to you and your nephew.
My nephew,
Yeah,
Luisito with an R. Yeah, man, I think some of this stuff you have to take.
I'm antisocial to some degree. Have you noticed?
You're antisocial and the most social person all in
Isn't
all
that
in
fascinating?
one. All in one.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying I'm this way because I want to be. I'm this way and I don't understand why.
I think you
and I don't
need to
even know what
challenge
do about it.
yourself to step out of that comfort zone. Because there's times I don't want to do stuff, man. And for the most part, because it's not always going to hit, but when I've tried that thing that I was too scared to try, or I was like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather be alone. It ended up being a big win or a giant lesson or something. You felt. I've always
Maybe
felt
it's
better
okay.
after.
Maybe it's okay. I don't want to do it. I have one group that I'm associated with, and it's that you saw that big giant picture.
Yeah.
Like, that's family, though. They're all family to me. Greg's about to do the podcast. He and I
Oh,
both are
I
nervous.
can't wait to see that.
He goes, I'm going to have to wear black glasses.
I can't wait to see
Because
that.
we both know we're going to cry.
Hell, I just love hearing Greg talk. Like, that dude's cool as hell. Man.
Yeah. We're going to wait till we get back from vacation. We're going to celebrate our birthday and come back and do it. We've been thinking about it for years.
I got people we need to bring on here, man. We're going to do, between you and I, we got a lot of different perspectives here. I think
like
it could be
that.
a lot of fun.
I think that's what it is. I just enjoy people that I can have a good conversation with.
Yeah. Learn something.
Which that makes my dating okay. This is nothing. Not to go backwards, but I just realized, that
Bro, you've been dancing
handful
cha-cha
of people.
since I sat down.
Huh?
You've been dancing cha-cha and
Yeah,
topics
I know.
since
Well,
I sat
you gotta
down.
be careful talking about these things. Everybody's going to think, is he talking about me? Probably. But not in a bad way because I'm trying to understand myself. So I had met this girl, I don't know, a few months ago, and she was really cool. She made it a point to get to know me. And we went out on a date, and then she took me out on a date. And I realized in the middle, or no, at like halfway through the date, she stops me and she goes, "Are you ever capable of being present?" And I thought, I don't know. Like, are you ever, like, don't ever ask me a question. This is a big problem, and I kind of don't know what to do about it. I really don't know what to do about it because I don't know if I need to change. There's a lot to unpack here.
No kidding.
Well, I would rather be alone for the rest of my life than try to bend myself to fit someone else's, like, whatever they want. Like, you know what I mean?
No. I got you. You're not gonna.
I am who I
fit
am.
yourself into somebody else's mold of you.
Yeah.
But there's individuality, and then when you have the right person, there's compromise.
Yeah.
And you can compromise without changing who you are. That's absolutely two things can be
Yes.
true at the same time.
Okay, so there was another girl that never let me have intellectual conversations. I loved everything about her. She was like my version of alcohol, because alcohol kind of shuts my brain off. It doesn't kind of completely. It allows me to be present. It allows me to be around groups like you were talking about. If I don't have alcohol, I don't want to be around that many people. You know, a handful, fine. But she would be like, no, stop. We're not talking about that. And I'd be like, oh, thank you. Because I don't know I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like, if you ask me a question, we're going to get to the bottom of it. If you ask me a question about life or why this or why that, something happens to me and I don't know how to turn it off. It's a disorder that I have. It's an obsessive disorder. It's also my gift. It's the thing that makes me great at everything. But I've always said your gift is also your curse. And I appreciate someone that can say, Nathan, stop. Shh. Like, she knew how to calm me. Mm-hmm. And I got to be goofy Nathan, you know,
right.
Carefree and careless. But some people don't know. And I'll tell them, like, look, you just may have to tell me to shut the hell up. Like, I'm good with that. You can say, shh. But anyways, that girl had asked me, she goes, are you ever capable of just being here and not in your own head? And I thought, oh, good. I don't think so. And not unless you say, hey, Nathan, do you realize you're doing that thing?
There's very few people that I could say, okay, here's the test. You're sitting in a car riding somewhere far with someone. We all have those friends that they have to fill in the silence. There can't be, if there isn't music or a podcast, even if there is, they're commenting, they're doing something, they can't sit in silence. Some of the best and closest people to me, I could be in a car with for an hour and not say a word to one another and feel completely at peace. And I'm still with that person. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly
like,
what
we're
you mean.
Together in this silence.
Just the energy in the car.
That's okay. And it's actually comfortable and nice. That's super rare. I only have a very few of those.
Yeah, and the irony is that I like that. Sometimes, like when I'm in the car, because I do my best thinking, and I don't want to talk to anybody, because it distracts me from whatever problem I'm trying to solve. And I just like to be alone with my thoughts. And I do that very well in my vehicle. It's why I love to drive. It's where I handle everything. It's on the back roads, or Joy and I drive a lot, or I drive everywhere, but we travel a lot. And I just want to be silent sometimes. And I won't say a word. I'll just nod. And so I get that.
Some people can't stand the sound of their own silence. Like, so it's great that you enjoy it, because there's power in that solitude. We've had that conversation. We've had, there's a lot of power in just being in your own thoughts.
Well, when you're on a date, you can't do that.
But
so
that's
do that
when
the
you're
opportunity. When you're getting to know someone,
present with someone.
Yeah, you're supposed to be getting to know someone.
Supposed to be engaged.
Well, that's the problem. I'll engage, and if they bring something up, we don't stop until somebody says, "Mercy."
Yeah.
But it takes a really strong person to interact with me, because I think people are afraid to cut you off, or I don't know what to say about that.
You're intense.
I am very intense.
You're intense.
And I think that terrifies a lot of people. Like,
it can intimidate a lot of people.
Yeah. That's a proper way.
It can intimidate some folks.
Well, because they don't want to be rude and be like, "Hey, I don't want to cut this guy off," but he doesn't stop once he's on that.
Or if they're shy, or if they're, especially if you just met someone, they're just like, whoa.
I was proud of that girl. She's like a big hotshot executive, and I do well with like high profile chicks, attorneys, like, you know what I mean? Because they don't back down, and I like that. I like really strong females,
high powered. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do well with dating them though.
There's a theme here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm busting your chops, and I'm sorry, but
no, I mean,
it's
this is what this is
but
for.
You're also calling yourself out on a lot.
Well, the point of this is
I think this one's therapy, and we may not be able to release it. I don't know.
No, it'll get released. I don't care, because look, I mean, the point of it is like, God, I think about my dad all the time, and I think, I wish I could go to that dude and just talk to him. He would just nod. I just wanted to see his facial reactions when I was going through something. He just knew. because he was my rock. He was my lighthouse. And I want to leave that for my kids. Like if my dad would have left me a journal, if my grandfather that I never got to meet that died of tuberculosis in the 40s, if I would have had his journal, right, some kind of living journal, so I could be like, what did he do about this? So that's kind of the idea of this, is just to be vulnerable and put this out there. It's not for me. It's not for the public. It's to leave something behind that someday my kids will be like, my dad went through the same shit. And Lucy's going to be able to represent all of this. So I just want them to see that I struggle too, because everything's bullshit. You look at Facebook and it's everybody's best, it's everybody's greatest, and the reality is we're all struggling.
Highlight
we're all
reels.
We have moments that are good, but the vast majority is just good enough, you know. And there's hard times too, and I've been really transparent with my kids about my hard times, but my hard times are important. I want to learn from them.
Absolutely.
And I like to document them.
There's a lesson, there's character building.
And you know how many other people,
you know?
like how much shit do we see online? We're like, holy crap, I'm glad they shared that. I can really relate to that. I'm 100%, not the only one.
But you have to be brave enough to do it. You know?
It's not brave anymore because it's not even me. It's not for me. It's for my kids. It's for, because someday I'll have a grandkid. Someday I'll have great-great-grandkids, and I'll be dead soon, so they'll be able to reflect on this.
I disagree on that.
What do you mean?
I think it is brave, especially for your children, not just putting things out into the ether or the internet. It's brave for an adult man who's accomplished to say, hey, kids, this is where I messed up. I'm human. I know you look at me like dad, and I'm up here because I looked at my dad that way. And I know he was flawed, and I know that as I got older, but that image of him as I grew up stayed with me. You know, when he passed away, like I remember, this is going to get a little supernatural, but I'm in New Jersey. It's February. It's freezing cold. No windows are open. And I'm in the house grabbing his old military shirts, splitting them up for my family. So mom didn't have to go through his clothes, stuff like that, you know. And I'm talking to him out loud. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Pop, who's going to give me advice now? Who's just going to listen to me? And I'm just letting it all out outside because I'm alone in the house. And all of a sudden I hear this giant slam in the kitchen. And there was a giant cabinet door that I had leaned up against the sink. And this thing just went whack. And it startled me, but it didn't scare me, right? So the houses are long and skinny in New Jersey. So I popped my head out. You know, like I know I'm alone, but I popped my head out. And I see this thing on the ground. And I just went, all right, Pop, I hear you. Mm-hmm. Like, I get you. You're telling me you're still here.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have conversations with him out loud in the car, or I'll talk to him at home, and I can literally hear his voice, his demeanor, his thing, just telling me what I already know, but just needed to hear from him. Mm-hmm. So it's beautiful that you're doing this.
Imagine.
You know what I mean?
Imagine if you had all these to go back and watch of your dad.
That's so crazy. But that's my whole point is our fathers, for the most part, those of us that are fortunate to have them and have them throughout our lives, are a lighthouse to us. Mm-hmm. You know, he was like my hero. Nobody was stronger than my dad. My dad could beat up your dad. Yeah. You know, and he was a Vietnam vet and like just one of the toughest dudes you have ever met in your life. You'd have loved him because he liked bars and people and all this, and he would sing and do all sorts of stuff. But anyway, like I think back and I go, man, those lessons he taught me and the things he admitted, and to hear him state he was wrong. Mm-hmm. And I remember just being shocked at like the man that knew everything being like, no, I was wrong. And here's how, you know, and then he would give me a lesson, you know. Yep. It just, those things are precious, man. I'll hold that till the day I die, man.
Well, what I love is, okay, so this is another reason why I record. So Joey was asking me the other day, she goes, you should do a podcast with your sons. And I was like, I already have. I've done podcasts with them. They're great. And she was like, well, what about all three of them at once? And I thought, oh, that'd be interesting.
That'd be awesome.
Really, yeah. And so I was like, here, I'll show you the first podcast. And it was my son, Brennan. Actually, the very first one went 30 minutes because we were live. Adam McCook had a nervous breakdown, a panic attack, and just had to bounce.
Oh.
But he'd gotten high before he came on, thought it was a good idea, and I didn't know. We got so nervous because people were watching. He's like, I could just tell. I was like, do I need to pull the plug? And he's just nodding. Yeah. We killed it. And I was like, I can't. I can't end that way. And Brennan's like, I'll do it, Dad. And he jumps on. So episode 2 was literally 3 minutes later, and which I wasn't.
I need you to send me these.
Other random thoughts. So, yeah, but the reason why I left them is because you hear Jimi Hendrix or you hear the Beatles and you see Picasso and you see the great. What we're seeing is everybody's best. But the reality is that's kind of what I was thinking about. Like all this for me was when we look at an Eminem. I'm getting sidetracked, but this is something I kind of want to point out. We celebrate and admire people's greatness. But They don't realize they're only great because Eminem had a messed up mom and wife, and he went through a tragedy. So unless you were blessed with a tragedy, you're never going to be like that. You weren't burnt with cigarettes as a child growing up. You weren't abused. And it's people that suffered really, really bad. They turn that suffering into art. And I don't know if any one of us really want to go through that. You look at Will Smith, he probably went through some hard times to become great. But his kids, they've only known great times. So their art sucks.
Yeah, and look at how well together they are.
You get what I'm saying? You got all these kids that want greatness, but they weren't. They didn't go through the shit to get there. You know what I mean? And that's just life.
I think it
chooses
boils
that for
down
you.
to, again, suffering and resilience, what you do with it.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are just happy to sit in that misery, and they'll never do anything to get out of it.
But people that were forced into it, that were born into it, it's a different brain. They have a different brain.
And you also appreciate what you've got once you've elevated your life and your status and everything. You know where you came from, and it's very important to remember that because we become so complacent so easily. It's that fish tank, man. Like it's Dory.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it today. I thought greatness is a consequence of suffering. Every great thing that's ever existed came from tragedy. Didn't mean to go down that sidetrack, but we were talking about this as well. And so I wanted people to see how I accomplished this. It's because I sucked really bad in the beginning. It was very uncomfortable, and I wanted to leave those behind because we only get to see people's best. That's what makes the highlights, and I thought it was really important to document everything because I wanted to see my growth. And boy, it was funny because we went and looked at a video from like 8 years ago, and I am still me. I am the exact same me, but more refined, more distilled. The ideas are a little broader, a little deeper, but a little more thought out. And I'm like, holy shit, I've been consistent for a long time. And I think it's awesome that I'm going to be dead, and my grandkids are going to be like, oh, look at Grandpa. He rode wheelies down the highway at 100 and something miles an hour. And he also had crazy ideas. And I just want them to see where they came from, if that makes sense.
Well, there's one
it's
thing.
It's an experiment, if I'm being honest. The whole thing's an experiment.
I want to go back to, I don't think all suffering is tragic. Because, because you said like all that suffering came from tragedies. And
it's beautiful, I think. All the beauty is.
I believe there's beauty in it, but I don't think it's all tragic. Okay. I think that there's, I want to be an elite boxer. Yep. But I don't necessarily have tragedy in my life. The suffering is something that I chose. Yeah. The late nights, the skipping out on the parties, not going to this or that, the discipline it takes to become that athlete, all the work, all the hours, the sweat, the blood, all that. That's all suffering.
I agree.
But it's not tragic.
I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
I'm saying everything that's beautiful in this world basically came from a tragedy. Like we learned our lesson from this tragic thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I
like
get
building
what you're
blocks and all that. It's just two different views.
Yeah. I mean, yes, not all suffering is a tragedy or came from a tragedy. Because a lot of times, like you said, we do it to ourselves, and that's good.
I choose a lot of my own suffering.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't, your brain's going to do it for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't do well if I'm not.
You'll suffer from mental health.
I also have a lot of accomplishment in my own suffering.
That's the point of it.
My friend Sarah, who bartends at Firebirds, tells me, I deprive myself of things. That's how I that's how I like get through and work through things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean I deprive myself? I do a lot. And she's like, well, you work out like a maniac, so you're depriving yourself of rest and this and that. And she gave me this weird perspective. And I was like, oh my gosh. But what she was getting down to is she goes, you like to suffer. You feel accomplished. You work things out after suffering.
I like to choose my suffering for sure. Yeah, if I don't, then it's going to be chosen for me.
No.
It's inevitable. If you don't have a real life struggle, the mind will create one. It was designed to overcome something.
Yeah.
It's designed to identify a goal and work towards it. And if you don't do that, your mind will just obsess, and that's why everybody's on medication, because they don't have real struggles. They're manifesting them in their minds, because that's what we're wired to do.
Yeah.
Accomplishment.
100%. We don't have real problems. We're not out hunting. We're not out surviving. We're not out cutting wood and doing this.
So we have to create that.
we're inventing the most nonsense issues and calling them disabilities and real problems and victimhood and all that stuff. And most of the time, we create the storm, and then we're the ones crying when it starts raining.
Yeah, I like that. This has been a hard conversation for me. In my mind, I thought, I kind of know what I want to talk about, but you got to talk about it to get it out of your mind.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was very uncomfortable for me through the whole thing.
Didn't seem like it. You just shot it out there, so good for you.
Well, I'm suffering. Let's just get through it as fast as possible and accomplish this goal. But I'm just trying to make sense of things, man. We're all just trying to figure it out. And when you're on the highs, you can't see anything but the highs. You can see every mountaintop. Life is beautiful when you're up here. It's one thing I love about backpacking. When I climb these mountains, God, I appreciate it so much, because of the suffering that I endured to get there. The peanut butter tastes so good. Like if I had the luxury of carrying peanut butter, because it's really heavy, right? And so these little moments that you celebrate, like cold water, oh my God, it's just magical. Yeah. And then when I start going back down the hill, I'm like, shit. I'm going back down I don't like going downhill, because it means I got to go right back up another one. But we put ourselves in these situations because when you're down in these valleys, you can't see anything. Like life is hard when you're down there, but that's chaos.
But we need both.
Yeah, that's order and chaos, and you got to have both for growth. Both for growth. Yeah, you got to get the grow.
Oh.
But I'm down in one of those valleys right now. I'm in one of those slumps, and I'm enjoying it. I'm thinking through it. I'm reflecting on it. I'm not blaming. I'm considering, and I'm observing everything around me, trying to make sense of it. And through every conversation and interaction I have, I just realize, man, people are just trying to get from one day to the next. And then they meet someone. And that's what I realized. At the end of the day, we could say, it's for procreation. It's just to have kids. But that's not true. We're here for many, many things, not just having children. I tried to make sense of this. We're here to share our lives with people. For a relationship, every choice we make should be to create stronger bonds with friends, to go through something hard together, or a relationship, if a partner.
Right.
And at the end of the day, every single choice we make it's the reason why situationships, I'm not judging anyone at this point. I'm saying I think we're just biologically engineered to be codependent, and it's okay. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm also trying to say that we have too many.
But it doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship.
No, friendships.
There are, very important friendships. I have a mentor. I have that, you can't be the smartest person in the room, right? Mm-hmm. Like there comes a certain point where you need to elevate around people that are at a place that you want to be. So whether that be spiritually, financially, wisdom, whatever you're looking to be, those relationships are super important and will work on you and can be just as difficult as a relationship, because my mentor's been rather gentle with some things, but has thrown some hard truths at me. And he's like, now go home and think about it. And I'm torturing myself to death. And he's trying to teach me something.
He's allowing you to discover it for
but
yourself.
He's allowing me to do it instead of going, here, Carlos, this is it.
You don't learn anything from
it. And you don't learn anything.
You got to go through it.
And he'll be the first one to tell you how flawed he is and show you this. But he's also one of the best dads I've ever met in my life, one of the best family men. He's an incredible businessman. He's into his fitness. The work ethic he's got for the position that he's in, he doesn't need to be on the ground doing anything that he's doing. But if he needs to, he 100% does it, and he likes it.
Yeah.
And I respect that so much. Reese, love you, bro. And it's one of those things where it's like, I look at him, I look at his family, I look at his kids, I look at where he lives, I look at all of that, and I go, man, he worked for every bit of it. And the coolest part of this is he's one of the most humble human beings I've ever met. And he's got like what many people would say, like, holy crap, that's the American dream, man. And I look at him and I'm like, man, I'm working towards something like that, of my own, of course. But that relationship means the world to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and we'll sit down and talk about hard things, man. But like I said, he doesn't, like you said, actually, he's not just tossing me the biscuit, man. He's like, no, go mull this over. I want to know what you come back with. And he knows me so well that sometimes he knows exactly what I'm going to say. And I'll see that little smirk on his face when I'm giving him my explanation. And then he's like, bam, how about this? And like he's playing, jujitsu.
He's got a lot of life.
But he's got life and he's got experience. And I'm just like mind blown. And he taught me something and he took me through this torturous couple of days. And he's just sitting back going, yeah, but it wouldn't have stuck if I just gave it to you.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
So
gotta
it's
let
not
people
just that,
discover
man.
it for themselves.
There's tons of relationships. I have friends that I can just be goofy with. I have friends that that are fitness friends that are really important. I've got bike friends, and everyone plays their part. So it takes a village.
Yeah, it's not like for me the whole like to some degree I'm not 18 anymore and just looking for sex.
Sure.
It's to be loved, to be appreciated.
Yeah, we all want to be loved.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. That type of relationship, friendship, partnership. You got a work thing you got to do?
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
This feels like all over the place. I've been in a brain fog for the last few days, but I needed to get it out, I suppose. I'm just trying to understand these things. And
You are where I was that last Monday, where I texted you.
But it'll be gone.
And I was like, hey, man, I got to get this stuff out. And
okay, so I'm not crazy because I'm not ever in these slumps.
No.
And
No. And I realized, like, normal Carlos would have just gone home and, like, chilled out, ordered something to eat, watch TV, kind of work it out in my own head. And then I realized, I was like, man, like, I'm glad we went out to talk, that we sat down and went out to talk, because I had crap I needed to get out too, and I realized I felt better after it. It's just about talking, man. That strong silent type stuff is good to a degree, but it's detrimental to us as humans because we're bottling up poison and it's eating us from the inside. We've got to have, now the problem is having trusted people to talk about it with, people that have your best interest at heart, people that will correct you in love.
Yeah, but that's up to us to decide who they are.
Not always, but yeah.
I'm get out of my life.
Yeah.
SLB.
Well, you don't say that anymore, brother.
I know.
You don't say that anymore. Work it. No.
I can think it.
No. SLB on here is SLF. Yeah.
Well, no, maybe
we're not working backwards.
Maybe, but they are bitches. Get rid of the bitches in your life. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Yeah. I'm consciously trying, because of my sweet neighbor, Miss Barbara,
to not cuss.
I'm trying not to cuss, especially on.
We haven't been.
I haven't been.
That's the first cuss word I've said.
Roll the tape.
Have I said more?
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
I think about cussing, but I don't. I'm pretty good. Hey, what was we talking about? Hey, I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to. I was a little disappointed that I had prior obligations the night we did get to hang out and met your friend. I was like, damn, I'm bummed out because we don't ever really get to spend time together. And I was a little disappointed.
We just need to make a point of it, man. You're an important dude in my life, and we just gotta say, hey, man, we're gonna set this time aside, and and it just not be.
It's hard for
the podcast or not be the thing. It's because I'm not Johnny on the spot. Like,
no, I know it's hard.
I have to plan stuff. I plan stuff out. I've got events. I've got stuff, and I'm blessed to be this busy. And that's another thing. My mentor goes, "Hey, man, sometimes you need to. You're a scheduler. Schedule some downtime. Like, schedule some time just for you. Not meet somebody. Not go over here. Not to schedule some time for Carlos to be with Carlos, to pray, to chill out, to be alone." And he's absolutely right, and I need to be more intentional about it. I've done it in small doses, and I always feel a little better afterwards, but I'll always find myself going, let me check and then I got to stop. Like, this is you time.
Yeah, I've engineered my life. This damn AI thing has I've put myself in a position that I can get work done at the speed of thought. And that's my biggest issue. I need to start scheduling more struggle in my life. Real things, gym. I don't know.
Doesn't necessarily need to be the gym. Struggle can be very different for other people.
Look, Carlos, when you're down here, like in that valley, I'm in the valley, and you can't see very far. It's thick down here. It's dark, but I'm going to come out of it because I always do. When I'm in this, I'm like, I'll look back in a couple days and be like, phew. You almost can't remember. Like when you're on a high, you can't remember the lows. Isn't that funny?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
We get stuck in either the high or the low. How many times have I been in a low and I've been blessed to have people that pull me out of it? Because sometimes we got to work it out for ourselves. And sometimes we're just being stubborn and isolating ourselves. And we need that person that gives enough, that gives a damn about us to go, hey, man, I need you to put your big boy pants on and come outside or come meet me or, hey, take this phone call. Whatever it takes to get it out.
Well, no one's ever known when I'm in a
to
low.
lift you up.
Nobody's ever seen me in a low. I just don't. I don't ever share it with anybody.
You've had moments.
Yeah, but it's pretty
But
rare.
they are rare.
I've probably been sharing a little bit more with you.
I can't recall many.
Yeah. You just don't see me. I go west. I get in my Jeep and I go.
Yeah.
I like solitude.
But I've seen you on down days. You are now able to pick up on mine.
Yeah, I'm
Because
starting to figure you out a little bit.
After church, you sent me a text message going, hey, man, you seem a little more stressed than normal. Because I have my normal level of stress, but that's just life at this point.
And it was a pattern I was seeing, not just one event.
But you know me well enough to go, hey, and you didn't let it go. You were a friend, and you said, nah, I'm asking.
That may be because of you. You're really good at that. You're really good at checking in on people. And I kind of get my own little bubble. And I wonder if you have influenced me. Or maybe I'm just a good person.
Boy, he just complimented me and sucked it right back. Y'all saw that?
I'm playing.
Hey,
I'm playing.
Thanks, buddy. But honestly, I'm the great one.
No, I'm playing. Well, I get so distracted with my own thoughts. I get so obsessive.
I know. But see, I get what you mean, too, about that girl that was able to tell you to shh. I would never do that to you.
That.
But I've told you, hey, man, level 10 to level 7, would you? You can
Level 10 to level 7. Bring it back, dial it back. I love that.
And never disrespectfully or anything, but sometimes you're so intense. There's been times where I'm like, hey, man, I just don't understand what you're saying. And then you'll be like, okay, hang on. And you're like,
I don't know how to make it stop. Alcohol. Alcohol is the only thing that helps me.
I'm sorry, that's not the answer, man.
But for me, it has been.
And I do hope that I've had some sort of positive influence on you. And you definitely have on me. And I think as we bring people on here and tell their stories of resilience and come back and fight, I hope that it changes your perspective a little bit on that social lubricant.
Well, I've had to really think about what you said. If not moderation, elimination. And I don't want to get to that point. I'm nervous about losing the one thing that I have because I'm like, I got to have something.
But look at the hold it's got on you just by what you said.
Well, if it's not that, I'm going to have to choose other things, other distractions, because we have to idle.
But, see, coping mechanisms don't have to necessarily be mind-altering.
No, I don't mean that. I'm saying gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you stay very, very busy, and I don't know if I want to stay that busy.
Idle hands, devil's playground, right?
Yeah.
Idle minds are even worse.
Yeah.
And sometimes I need to be slowed down, and I do realize that I keep myself busy because I'm not trying to let any of that bad in. And if that's what it takes, then I'm going to work my ass off.
I've made my mind up a long time ago. I'm like, this is one thing I do not want to put myself in a position that I got to let go of. I don't have any other thing, and I like it.
But if you're so dependent on it and you like it so much, then it's got to hold. It's got a certain amount of hold.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Because you're like, I need that because I feel looser. It calms me down. It makes me a social lubricant.
Gives me a break from myself.
And it gives you a break from yourself. But, man, then we go back to you should be okay with sitting with yourself. And you should be able to calm yourself down without an aid.
No. I know. Maybe you don't understand. I'm calm. I don't know how to make the thoughts. Like the thoughts are so intrusive. It's a million miles an hour all the time.
You're not calm.
I don't know how to.
You're calm on the outside. You're a duck floating on the water. Looks all smooth up top, but his legs are going batshit underneath, right? You made me cuss.
There's no way I can explain it. It's a million fireworks.
Yeah. But there's exercises, there's time. It's going to take, it's not overnight, but there's a way to calm that because I've had that chaos and it was alcohol for me, but it never really helped. It just kind of masked.
Well, I met this 94-year-old man and his name's Dr. Thompson. He was an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay.
And he outlived his life savings, he and his wife. And we
That's
became
kinda
very
awesome.
close. He's from, I think, New Jersey.
Hey!
He had this it was up there in Northeast, and he latched on to me, and I latched on to him. I have a video I'd love to show you of he and I. But he's like, you remind me of my best friend. And he told me the story of how they became best friends. They fought, and they got the best of each other. But he goes, you're just like him. And now we're 60 years apart in age, you know. Anyways, I said, how do you do it? Because you would have never believed this guy was over 60. The way he could run. At 94 years old, he would drag a 15-foot flat-bottom boat and this 15-horse motor and reach out and put it on the back of the boat. It was just crazy. The guy was amazing. And I said, how do you do it? He goes, a tall glass of whiskey every single night. I said, what? And he and his wife both, they at the end of the day, they enjoyed a drink together. And it shut their brains off. And I'm like, there's some truth to that, because the number one cause of death is stress. There is nothing that comes
absolutely.
close.
Absolutely.
Stress is cortisol.
Yeah, cortisol.
And so alcohol, quitting alcohol, sleeping, diet, none of that improves your life, your longevity, more than figuring out ways to remove the stress in your life. Mm-hmm. And
but was it really the drink? I mean, that's cool,
yeah,
but they probably weren't hanging out in bars all day. He was obviously very active. Mm-hmm. So he did a lot of life in between then and that drink, and then he was probably like, all right, I need to go to sleep.
If I don't find
Tylenol PM.
Look, no, if I don't find something to kill me, like a hobby, I'm going to live too damn old. And it scares me. I'm like, my only fear is I'm going to outlive one of my sons. Like, that terrifies me. So I am not worried about death. I talk about that a lot. I'm really kind of genuinely looking forward to it to some degree. I've made peace with it, and I'm kind of interested in what's next. I was like, come on. You know what I mean? But I have an obligation to continue this life and live it to the fullest. And so
yes, you do, because it's a gift.
I absolutely adore my life. Would not trade with one human being. But at the end of the day, and I don't do this every day. These are just 5 days, maybe, sometimes 6. It depends on how hard I've been going.
Wow, that's pretty close to every day.
Yeah, it's pretty damn close. But if it made sense to me that, like, after a long day of work, and my work can be very, very taxing. Like, my sponge is always so full because I process data every day, all day. It's mountains of data, and it's overwhelming. To the point that I think I'm going to have panic attacks sometimes. So at the end of the day, 5 o'clock, I've learned my trick. So moderation, as long as I don't start too early. Like, I had a beer for lunch today. 1 beer.
But is that moderation or justification?
Both.
All right, thank you for being honest.
I had 1 beer.
Thank you for being honest.
I had 1 beer, and I thought, I can have 3, 4, but I only had 1 for lunch because I knew I didn't want to drink tonight. So I thought, let me have a beer, because it's either that or water. I don't drink sodas. I have a very limited option.
That's rare.
I drink black coffee tonight, coffee, or water. I do, because I don't drink sodas. Yeah. I don't do
that's
sugar.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So my only other option is a light beer.
You want sugar?
A light beer. It's really, I think it's emotionally and mentally good for me.
I think it is an emotional blanket.
Maybe
it might be a little bit.
I may be okay with that.
And if you're okay with it, that's fine. Because now I want to go. You just said, your work is very taxing. You are always working on new projects and stuff, but
hundreds.
But Lucy gives you a lot of free time.
Too much is a problem.
So,
I've engineered my life to have. But it's all in my work is in my head, Carlos. I don't sit on.
Which is why you're pouring it out into Lucy.
You see me walking around. This is how I work.
I know.
Yeah, and so this data, and I'm processing, and I don't share it with you because it would be so boring. But I'm always solving complicated
it's not boring.
problems.
I just very honestly am not smart enough to understand that. Like you work on a different level.
Okay, so
it's a beautiful mind.
Joey gave me I came up here and I had a Christmas present. And so we're always talking about, everybody asks me, what are you going to do with all this? I was like, raise bees. What? I just want to raise bees.
Well, we need more bees, so go for it.
I agree. And she gave me this Christmas card. Always keep your eye on the prize. When I retire, I just want to raise bees. Nate Carroll. Merry Christmas. You're my very best friend. And
That's
because she
awesome.
knows at the end of the day, I want the most simple life. I want to get away from all of this and distill it down to the simplicity and know, like, if I could live without freaking TV and electricity, like, I want the struggle. I want to go chop my wood. You know what I mean? I want to go back and work again. Like, I've screwed up. I used to be a technologist where I worked with robots and I was an electrician. I did all these.
What's keeping you from doing it, man?
I can't.
What's keeping you from doing it?
I mean, I'm teaching now.
Hey,
I have a responsibility to share these things.
But you just answered your outlet. Like, you want to do those things, but you're teaching and you're working.
I want to go back to hard work.
Get up earlier and do some hard work.
That's pretty good, Carlos.
There it is. Just do it, man. It's not a matter of I can't or you like schedule, man. We all have the same times. That's why I'm literally on a schedule. And all you got to do is, man, maybe I shouldn't have that last beer. Take my butt to bed earlier, get up earlier, and then go do that hard work that I don't get to do but desire. Go chop that wood, hit the gym, find your thing, do it early before your brain gets going, and then get to work and do your thing.
There's so many good
Let's
excuses
go,
out
son.
there. There's
Yeah.
so many. You're really good at this. You're really good at motivating. I think about you all the time. I think, God, I could just call Carlos and he'd let me work out with him.
Yeah.
He'd like get me started.
And it's not always motivation.
But you know, I have
my
commitment
friends will tell
issues.
you how much I bitch in the gym and how sometimes I don't want to do it and it sucks. And they give me that pat and I get it done. And at the end of it, I go, you know, it wasn't the prettiest day, but I did it, and it's better than staying in bed.
Where do you get your? It's discipline. I lack.
Yeah, I'm not
discipline.
always motivated, man.
I know
is such
that.
BS.
I know that.
Yeah,
you do
but
it.
now
That's what
now-
discipline is. You do it in
Yeah.
spite of it.
Now, there's some days where I get up and I'm like, oh, zippity doo dah and all that, you know. But then there's days that I don't want it, and I start talking to myself, going, "You're gonna hate yourself later if you don't do this," or you know, sometimes you got to be a man and be like, "Hey, stop being a little bitch."
I packed my backpack. Got it all ready. I got all my things organized. I got my dog's backpack, and I was about to hit, maybe 20 to 40 mile trail. I don't know if I could do it anymore. And I had a buzz. When I decided to do it. I was so motivated with that buzz. And I woke up the next day.
Dehydrated on the top of the mountain.
No. I wasn't going to go. I was just I was inspired to do something. So I went and found all my gear because I'm a backpacker. I love backpacking.
I love that. Yeah.
It's miserable doing it, but the reward from it's amazing. So anyways, I had this buzz and I thought, ooh, I felt inspired. I'm going to go get all my gear together. And I did. I got it all organized. Everything to survive a 20 to 40 mile trip. Depends on what I want to do. I'll find water along the way. And, man, I was convinced we were doing it. Talk my dog, like, we're going, baby. And the next day come around, and I'm like,
Inspiration's a flame that doesn't last, my friend.
Yeah.
And like,
Isn't
what is
that
it?
funny?
Dale Carnegie said motivation doesn't last.
Okay.
It's like bathing. That's why it's recommended daily. That's discipline.
I did Dale Carnegie during COVID, and I didn't really want to do it.
The fact that you just said that. Okay, I did Dale Carnegie. Didn't really want to.
Well, I didn't know if I would get anything out of it. And so during COVID, I had to do it over a computer. It was like a Zoom or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I'm doing the thing. I'm pretty active. I'm a pretty good participant. I don't just, there's no shallow anything about me. I go full force, all in everything I do. And I took it seriously. And then it was a week long, the course I did.
Okay.
Maybe by the 5th or 7th day, whatever it was, I'm kind of done. I'm just like, I'm checked out. I don't even want to be here right now. And literally, we're 15 minutes in, and I'm sitting there watching my computer, and I reached over and I held the power button until the computer to like pretend like my internet went away. And I closed my laptop and I checked. I was done. I could have stuck around and got the certificate. I was like, I don't even want it. I literally just ended the session. I felt conviction, like, don't even you get out. Isn't that weird? Different, huh?
I wouldn't call that one conviction.
I felt conviction. I felt compelled to end this.
No, I think you felt.
I felt like it was a complete waste of my time.
Yeah.
I was on the very last day, and I thought, I gained absolutely nothing from this. And I was pissed
But you
off.
went
I
all
didn't
the way
even want
through
the
it
certificate.
where you could have seen it through
I
and
know.
finished it,
Yeah.
and then you would have had more of a right to say that was a waste.
No. I knew it on the first day. I was just pissed off at myself. I spent another 6 days. I wasted 6 hours of my life. I was so annoyed.
I don't know. I think you could have gotten a lot out of Dale Carnegie.
I was there the whole time. The end was nothing. There
No,
was
it
nothing.
doesn't seem like you were there. You were physically there, But I don't think you were all there.
I did all the tricks. I learned how to memorize. I learned all the bullshit. I learned the greetings. I learned it all. I can't remember any of it.
So you did win friends and influence people and win friends.
I was forced to do it. I was forced to do it. It wasn't even my choice. My work kind of forced me.
Yeah. They were trying to give you something to do during COVID. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot more to it than that.
I have a problem. If I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it.
Oh, I'm one of those people too. I took enough orders in my life where I have a problem with that. And I've worked hard enough for some autonomy, which by the grace of God, I get for the most part. But
I'm the same in relationships.
We have to do things we don't want to do sometimes.
I know, but I don't
Builds
want to.
character.
I have a lot of, that's all I do is build character. But I'm like, there's some things I'm doing my way.
I think you have
Going
a
out
lot
like
of
Sinatra.
built characters within you.
At the end
and
of the
you
day,
let them rotate.
If I outlive you, you're going to say, you know what? For everything he was, he did it his way. And there was no change.
And there's something to say that. And doing it your way is also choosing suffering.
Yeah, I like my suffering. I choose my suffering.
Yeah.
I love my growth. I love what I've accomplished in my growth. I love the darkness. I love the valleys because it's like, okay, what am I here to learn this time?
But your mission in your soul is being a lighthouse. So
This is what I want to
stay in the valleys, my friend.
This is what I want.
You can't.
I know. I'll come out of it. You got to have that though.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a light. You wouldn't have
That's right.
highs.
But you can't say I like it. Like you can't sit down there. You can appreciate what you gain from it. But your mission is lighthouse.
Yep.
And a lighthouse stands tall, shines light on others.
No, I'm the wiki. I'm the guy up there polishing the glass and keeping the damn thing burning. I'm a lighthouse keeper.
Consistency, discipline.
Yeah, and I do it. I do it. I know. But these lows are important. So what I'm saying,
the lows are important.
So when it's cold outside, and people are saying, "Why do you say you like it?" I'm just telling myself I don't have a choice.
Self-talk.
So I could sit and bitch and moan, but I'm too blessed to bitch. So I would rather say, "Oh, I love it."
Perspective and discipline.
Yeah. So that's what it is. I'm using a trick and just telling myself, "No, I love the suffering." Because I know something's good going to come from it. It's why you go to the gym. You love it too.
Yes,
but you love the reward. So you get where I'm coming from.
Even when I hate it, I love it.
You understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, 100%.
But this is what I figured out. This is the problem I have, and we can close with this if you want to. The only issue I have is that everyone is using other people to avoid their suffering. With these temporary relationships, they're latching onto someone, that monkey branch, that the whole thing. And I just have a problem with that. I've made up my mind. I'm not using anyone to get through my suffering. I'm going to do it by myself and with my friends, but I'm not going to partner up with someone just long enough to feel better about myself. I've just decided that when I go into a relationship, listen, we're in this thing, girl. Like from the first date, I've made my mind up that we're going to see if we're friends first. Let's try friendship. Let's see where these conversations go. And if I haven't had a chance to practice, but I have my mind made up that when I meet someone that reciprocates, right?
Okay.
Or if I reciprocate them, because there's always someone that shows some interest, and it takes both, right?
Two to tango.
And when that magical moment happens again, which is very rare, look at all the thousands of people we meet. Looks don't matter. Like the chemistry's got to be there, the pheromones, whatever it is. When that moment happens again, I'm going to be so intentional. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just not going to casual. I'm just not doing the casual things.
I think we need to bring a dating therapist on with us and
Why
maybe work that out.
Ask them why they're a therapist, because they're usually single.
Because, oh man, I think we got to get you out of this dating thing. Because you're stuck on that no matter what we talk about, you come back to that. So that is definitely something we got to get to the root of.
I'm trying to figure it out.
We got to get to the root of.
You may have a down point. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's all everyone's trying to figure out.
But, sometimes we also
get
crazy in looking.
I'm not looking for anyone. I was trying to tell you that. I'm saying that.
But how can that be true if you're stuck in this?
No, what I was trying to say is that people are using other people to avoid their suffering. And I don't think it's healthy.
I think that that's true, but we're also responsible enough to choose people that are willing to suffer with us.
Well, that sounds good, but I'm saying
but
people
does it sound good or is it not
people
true?
Are misleading. People are misleading other people because they're afraid to let go of this thing right? People are afraid to let go of something.
Oh yeah, codependency is very real.
Yeah, they're afraid to be by
Yeah,
themselves
I have
long
friends
enough.
that are serial daters that can't be alone. They're incapable.
That's what I'm saying.
I
This is
get
the
that.
culture. That's why I said we're in a rebound culture. This is the issue that I have, and this is why I'm struggling because I'm not willing to overlook it.
Yeah, but you can't be critical of someone being single. You've been single for 3 years. They're going to turn that right back around on you.
Technically, 10 months.
Big difference between 3 years and 10 months.
Well, I'm just saying my last relationship was 10 months ago.
But I'm just.
I don't know. 10
I don't know.
months.
I would say that we do a lot when we stop obsessing on that. Like if that's the thing, I would say leave all of that alone and just work on Nate.
That's all I do is work on me. But at the same time,
No, because you're living in this duality, and you need to make a hard line on it and just go, for a little bit, take a break from this whole dating thing because it's driving you nuts.
I haven't dated.
No, you think about it.
Yeah.
Our subjects come back around to it. You're processing psychological patterns that all come back to dating. When we talk about relationships, I'm talking about a community. I'm talking about not being alone in a different way. And you can't help but make it romantic or make it a partnership of that sort, which means you need to take a break from that for a minute and just be in community with Nathan and friends. And
You may have a point.
yeah, I think you need to
I think
step
I'm
back from it.
obsessed over it. Well, because
You're too in it.
Can
You're
I
too
tell you
in
why?
it.
Because everyone comes to me. Everyone I know comes to me when their husband wants to leave them, or their wife, or their girlfriend, their boyfriend. Like for a decade, longer probably. Everyone comes to me for like to consult with. Like, okay, well, what are you trying to do? You want to win them back? What is your goal to get over them?
Because you're a fixer, man. You
Yeah.
fix problems. You're analytical, and you're going to see
Everybody.
things
And
that
I
other
don't mind
people
that.
don't see. But you can't make that your own.
Well, honestly, I mean, just from trying to understand human behavior, that's really my obsession. It doesn't have a whole lot to do with it. It has very little to do with me trying to get in a relationship. I told you, I'm not even trying. It's not even a goal of mine.
I can't wait for you to go into editing.
7:00. You got to think.
Yeah.
Oh, well, go ahead.
But-
we're gonna get out of here. Well, shit, I hate ending it this way.
But
you should have cut me off earlier.
But I really think, even feed it into Lucy and ask Lucy to listen to everything you've said.
She will.
And to come back at you and say, hey, am I obsessed with this relationship thing? Am I too deep into this dating? And should I take a break?
I'm gonna
And
send you a text.
I think Lucy's going to agree with me.
Lucy, did you hear what Carlo just said? I need you to send him a response, please. Until next time.
Hey, and you know what? In the words of Nathan, we got to talk more about Jesus. We're out.
I think that's the secret. I need more Jesus. So long, friends. This was a hard conversation.
That was a difficult one. I'm really